Welcome to the Mindset Unleashed Today podcast. My name is Tommy Gucciardo, and I'm excited to share my insights and experiences with you to help you shift your mindset and improve your life. Now, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be exploring different areas of life, discussing how to make positive changes. Now, I'll be doing this by interviewing guests who can provide additional perspectives and their experiences. I believe that by making a mindset shift, we can all unleash our full potential and create the lives we want to live. I hope you'll join me on this journey. How you doing, everybody? I want to welcome you back to the Mindset Unleashed podcast. I'm Tommy Gucciardo, and I'm your host. So today I want to talk about something that's both at the same time exhilarating and intimidating, and that's pushing past your limits and get outside your comfort zone. You know, what if I told you like the key to everything, the key to whatever you want is right on the edge of that, getting outside of that comfort zone, you know, where fear fuels transformation. And, you know, most people get caught up in the tug of war of, you know, feeling familiar with something and not getting to that next level and not pushing past themselves. And, you know, for me, myself too, you know, I've had plenty of times in my life where, you know, where I was comfortable and I didn't want to push myself and I didn't want to get outside of that comfort zone. And, you know, I got stuck in that same cycle over and over again. And just recently for me, you know, I've been, you know, I've always been, well, not always, but later in life, I've battled weight problems. And, you know, it was easy for me just to stay where I was. Don't exercise, don't get healthy, you know, don't go to the gym. And then one day I just said to myself, you know, I feel everything falling apart. And I feel like a lot of area of my life not, you know, coming together. And a lot of it was over my unhappiness and being stuck in a familiar place of, you know, like eating my feelings, right? And, you know, I had to get outside of my comfort zone. I had to do things differently, right? Like I love pizza. Like I can eat pizza breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I had to change something and I had to get outside that comfort zone. And I got to tell you something, for the first time in a long time, I got outside that comfort zone and I ate different foods, right? I ate healthy foods and I ate foods that didn't give me, you know, indigestion, and I wasn't sluggish, and I lost 40 pounds. And, you know, I feel like a different person. And once we get outside our comfort zone, things change. You know, it's your mindset starts changing. You start feeling different. Wow, I just accomplished something. What else could I accomplish? So I'm here to show you a few things that could help you. And the first thing is setting goals. But, you know, it's not, you know, these big dramatic goals. Start with a small goal, right? For me, it was just like, let me get through lunch. Then let me get through dinner. Oh, I'm not hungry? I can make it till tomorrow, right? So it was those little things. And I got on the scale and I saw a difference. So I said to myself, like in the past, I'm like, I'm just going to lose 50 pounds, right? And it never happened because the first 2 days, nothing happened. You know, you go right back into that, you know, that comfortable stage. So, you know, I said this time, I set a goal every week. This is what I want to be at. This is what I want to be at next week. And this is what I want to be at next week. And then I set longer term goals. So the little goals became bigger goals, right? And that's the key to it, because once you chop off one thing, it's easier to get to the next level. And then once you chop that level down, it's easier to get to the next level. And you know, and then the ball starts going and it starts rolling. And then you start feeling better about yourself and you can accomplish stuff. And that's what it's all about. It's about accomplishments. How many times did you go to the gym? You went for 3 days, a week, you were a little sore, you don't see any results, and you stop. You're not going to get results in a week. You're not going to get results in 2 weeks. You know, maybe a month, maybe 6 weeks. But the goal should be, I'm going to go to the gym twice this week. I'm going to go to the gym 3 times this week. And then you start seeing the change, right? And that's what we have to do, small, manageable goals. So we just talked about small goals, right? Setting small goals to get us to the next level. Now we have to set more specific goals. And now we take, you know, let's say for losing weight. So I had a small goal. I wanted to do X amount by this week and X amount by next week. But now let's have a, you know, more specific goal. Within the first 6 weeks, I want to be at this. And then it's easier to chop that off because you have smaller goals leading up to that more specific goal. And then once you get to that specific goal, now you're like, oh my God, I'm at this place that I've never been at before. Now you're outside the comfort zone, and now things start coming for you, and even for me, like, it's really tough when you're in an Italian household and when you're at holidays and when you're with people that love to eat. It's tough to say no. I was just at Thanksgiving and I was like, my mother makes the most amazing stuffing. And I was like, I want to eat that whole tray. But I was like, I'm so into what I'm doing right now that I only took a small piece. And I was busting her chops because she didn't make a lot this year. So I was busting her chops. It's not enough this year, but meanwhile, I only ate a small little piece. But, I'm in a zone right now, and I'm seeing results. So once I start seeing results, now I'm so driven right now. Now is the next step is, it's not a specific goal, but it's more of a longer term goal. It's to run a marathon again. And that was like one of the biggest accomplishments I've ever done in my life. It was, if you want to talk about getting outside your comfort zone, run a freaking marathon. It was like the most, your mind is cooked after that, and I didn't know how to train for it. I was just like happy that I was able to do it, and I signed up for it. And, I didn't set any real goals during it. I just said, I'm just going to complete it. And I remember like hitting that 18th, 19th mile. I had tears rolling down my face. I'm like, I can't do this. And then I was with my brother and another guy running, and they gave up. And I said, I'm not giving up. And I did it. And it was like, when I passed through that finish line, there was so tears of joy running down my face. But I got outside my comfort zone. This is a guy that never ran. I went from never running to running a marathon. So like, you can get outside your comfort zone. You can get things if you set the proper goals. So another thing I want to talk about is embracing fear and uncertainty. Fear is natural. We're always going to be fearful of something. It could be fearful of, changing a job. It could be fearful of a relationship. We could have fear, just on a daily basis. But we have to embrace that fear and get past that fear. And, like for me, it's, like I've always had a fear of success. And, I felt like I wasn't worth it. And I didn't deserve certain things because of my past, because of my incarcerations, because of my divorces, because of my, my drug addiction. And I didn't think I deserved things in life. So I always was fearful of success. Today, I embrace fear. It sounds weird. I embrace fear, but I'm not afraid of fear. Okay. So when I say that, it means that fear is just a natural instinct. I have to get past the fear and fight through to get what I want. And that's how you get outside your comfort zone. And, I'm not afraid of success anymore. I deserve success. I should get success because I put in a lot of hard work and a lot of dedication. And, I am a good person and I do deserve things. My disease kept me thinking that I was a piece of shit when I'm not a piece of shit. So, like your mind plays so much tricks with you and it wants you to stay in that familiar place, that miserable place, and that, place where we don't grow in, and that's why when you have to get out of your comfort zone and you have to, don't be afraid of these things. Go get what you want. Go, whatever you want to put your mind to, you could do. And once you get past that, things change for you. I was just talking about, the fear of success, right? So how I get out of that mindset of, fearing, being successful, I visualize success now. What does success look like to me? Now, success to me might be totally different to everybody else. Success for me could be just having a strong family, a loving wife, a thriving business, or this podcast doing, well. So it's funny, I was having a conversation with my brother the other day, and he's like, "Oh, I'm so wrapped up in something right now." And I'm like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, and he was he says, "I've been working the whole day every year." And I didn't even notice, this is my brother, right? Every year he does a kind of one of those the visual boards, but he does it in video form. And he takes clips of certain things that he wants in his life, certain things that he does in his life, and what, there certain things that, whether it's a family, whether it's his business, and he watches it every single day. And he makes like a 5-minute video and he watches it every single day. And, it's simple to have like on your screen protector or up on your monitor or like a picture of like your, what are your goals for the year or something, but to actually watch something every day, it kind of takes dedication, right? And he's really visualizing his success. And listen, he's had some setbacks along the way, but he has something major that's happening to him right now that's, like really important for him. And he's going to change the whole trajectory of his business. And, that's from visualizing success. So, it's really important to think about these things and look at them, whether it's through video, whether it's through picture. That's how you're going to get out of your comfort zone. Because how you're going to get to those things, you have to do something different. And, that was really like, it was very interesting to see. And, it made me want to do one now too. So now I have to get my editing skills up and figure out how to do that. But that's all right, right? That gets outside my comfort zone. I don't know how to edit, but if I want what I want, I have to do certain things. Now, with all this being said, I'm not saying just go jump out the window and, go change your career or, go leave your wife and find something new. Getting outside of your comfort zone is great, but you also have to take calculated risks also along the way. You have to make calculated decisions. You have to, make choices that are within that, whatever you're trying to change or whatever you're trying to do. Because sometimes getting out of, sometimes we want to do things that might not make sense for us and we may not be ready for these things. So, it's okay to get outside your comfort zone, but also you want to make it healthy and you want to be able to make it where once you get out of your comfort zone, you're enjoying the things around you. So that's why I'm saying take calculated risks and actually weigh the risks and the rewards of what you're doing. And that's really important. When you're taking these risks and rewards, it's also challenging you. It's getting you past certain things that you've never done before. And, for me, I'm a type of guy like, I'll give you a sports adage, if we're down 10 runs and it's 2 outs and I'm the last batter, I still think I could win the game. So, I'm always going to be up for a challenge. I always want to fight till the end. I never think I could lose. And, when we're doing these things and and you're battling and you're fighting, and when you get past what you're going to get, it's just so beautiful. It's so beautiful. And being outside your comfort zone and, it changes people's lives. It really does change people's lives. So one thing that's really, really, we talked about a lot of good things, but, the most important thing is to practice self-compassion. I know myself, I could be extremely, extremely hard on myself. I beat myself up for the stupidest things, for the littlest things. And, that's not healthy. It's not good. So I really work very hard to take care of myself, right? And that's why I was talking about the whole like losing weight, because, I gained weight and I felt uncomfortable and, it just affects your whole body and your mindset and your it's not just your physical, it's your mental also and your spiritual. And, once I started changing that and realizing that, like I have life in me, like this is where I want to go with things. And, I'm more compassionate to myself now. And, my girl, I was saying, the other day I was told my girl, I don't want to do this. I forget what it was. I don't want to do this. I'm not good at it. She turned around and she said to me, and it's like, sometimes when you don't, like you don't see yourself. You don't see yourself on a daily basis, and you might not think you're doing certain things. She goes, you light up a room when you come in a room. I'm like, I never thought of myself like that. She says, people pay attention to you. People talk to you. They want to be around you. And I always thought that I was like this closed off person, but like when she said that to me, I really had to think about it, right? So, we beat ourselves up that, oh, nobody likes me, or, but when you practice in that self-compassion on yourself, and when you really like, you have a glow about you, and you people see that. And I guess the more I'm starting to, take care of myself, I guess, I'll see that in myself also. So, the last thing I want to talk about is self-compassion. So it's good to practice self-compassion. Like, everybody's going to have doubts. Everybody's going to, say they can't do something, or, they're not good enough. I'm here to tell you that you are good enough. And, for me, for a really long time, I doubted myself. And that was part of the addiction. That was part of my lifestyle, that I always lived in a negative environment, a negative headspace. And I never thought I was good enough. And, now today, I focus on me. I focus on what makes me happy, and it helps me get through things. And, and listen, there's times that I doubt myself, and I doubt where I'm at in my life. And sometimes it takes other people that are outside looking in, not sitting internally with me, inside me, and, my crazy freaking head, that has a million people talking at one time, and the noise is always loud, but, I've learned how to control that now. There's not 5,000 people, not a million, it might be only 5,000 people. But, but what I'm trying to get at is, sometimes we don't see what we're doing with other people. And two things recently happened. One is somebody that I totally never expected called me up out of the blue and just asked me for help. And they said, you're the only person that would understand this. And was crying. And like that really resonated with me. Because that helps me, with what I'm trying to do with this podcast, what I'm trying to do with certain things. It helps me to know that people actually are listening to what I say and relating with me. And that's all I want people to do, is I want people to relate to me and relate to my stories. I might not be, the most technical person. I just give you my experiences and where I'm at. And the other thing, I was frustrated with something, and I said, I don't want to do this anymore, and I can't do this anymore. And my girl said, man, you have so much potential, and you do so many great things. Don't give up on yourself. And it was like, she even said, like, people, when you walk in a room, people gravitate to you, and you light up a room. And I never in a million years thought that I, lit up a room. I always feel like when I go in there that I scare people away, maybe because of the way I look a little bit, but, So what I'm trying to say is, like, just keep on doing the right thing. Take care of yourself. Be compassionate with yourself, and you can get outside that comfort zone, right? And you can get what you want in life. And that's all we want, right? We want to be loved. We want to be happy, and we want to get outside that comfort zone and get good things in life. So I hope everybody got something out of this episode. It's if you could push past your limits and get outside your comfort zone, great things will happen. Just remember, the couple of key things, set specific goals, set small goals, take care of yourself, have self-compassion, visualize that success. If you do some of these things, you might take one or two of them, you might do all of them. it'll help you get outside your comfort zone and have a new life. So once again, thank you for tuning in. If you could please like, subscribe, comment, share. That's the only way we'll get this message out to other people, and we could change everybody's mindset one day at a time.